This guy is Spock. His brother, Kirk, is off somewhere, probably sleeping in one of the bedrooms or downstairs. Yeah, you're a good boy. All right, you want to sit on my lap? Okay, there we go. 3,000 questions about me. First episode, we did about 50 questions. Today, we're doing maybe 50, maybe even 100 questions. We'll see. Let's see how much time we have. And I hope this guy doesn't decide to chew the wires, because that wouldn't be very good. All right? Down, buddy. Come on. No. There we go. So, 50 questions, 3,000 questions about me. So we left off at question number 50, and now we're going to do question 51. But before we do that, I wanted to check in with you guys and gals. How's everybody doing? Have you been resting? Have you been drinking water, working out, feeding positive things to your mind, being gentle with others? We're all in this together. Granted, some are able to enjoy it a little better than others, but at the end of the day, we're all fighting to get through this. At the time of this recording, it is now March 30th. Yeah, March 30th, 2020. And for posterity's sake, this is being recorded at the beginning of the pandemic out here in New Jersey, of the COVID-19, or as we like to call it, the Rona. And it's stressful for everybody. We have curfews now, we have lockdowns, a lot of businesses we can't go to. We can't go to the barber, we can't go to the nail salon, we can't go to, our kids can't go to school, they have to do everything from home. We've got rations at Walmart. I mean, well, I wouldn't say rations, but like water and toilet paper are like kind of hard to come by. Yeah, it's a really tough time, and it's a tough time for everybody. But as with all tough times, we're going to get through it. And we just got to be patient, and we got to be resilient. And if you have a stay-at-home order in your state, please abide by it. Stay home as much as you possibly can. Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. And even when you do, don't bring the whole family with you. So, that being said, let's get into it. Question 51. What do you think should be a wonder of the world that currently isn't? A wonder of the world that currently is not a wonder? Man. I don't even know. I mean, we could probably, architecturally, we could look at anything in Manhattan, say like Empire State Building, or, yeah, I would say ESB, Empire State Building, because the reason it was built so fast, and for the reason that it's, no matter how many years have passed, it's still iconic of New York. You see the Empire State Building, you know exactly what we're talking about. Question 52. What comforts you on bad days? Well, you're looking at one of my comforts right now. It's my cat, Spock, and my other cat, Kirk, my kid. A good Netflix show, a warm comforter, hug from a woman that loves me. Haven't gotten those in a while. What else? A paid bill. Question 53. Do you treat yourself and your body with respect? I'm working on it. For a very long time, I just put whatever crap I could muster and put it in there. And for a very long time, I didn't really care about my health or being physically fit or being physically active and things like that. But now, in light of the pandemic and in light of the fact that I'm going to be home for the foreseeable future, the urgency to take care of my health is much, much more present. So now I'm treating my body with respect. I didn't do that before, but I'm doing that now. Question 54. Something you eat that other people would find gross. Really depends. I mean, I don't eat a lot of things, unless, of course, you don't like asparagus. I eat asparagus. I eat mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you probably consider them to be gross. Question 55. Have you ever broken the law and didn't get caught? If so, how? I jumped turnstiles when I was a teenager. I don't do that now. Turnstiles are the little entry booths in subways in New York City. And back in the day when I didn't have a ride, I just jump it. I used to jump it a lot. Question 56. Something you fear might change you. I look at all change as good change, but I fear that this pandemic will change how I make money, because a lot of companies that I service have been closed because of the pandemic. So, also, in my personal relationships, I've learned to become a little more assertive, and sometimes I can push people away very quickly, and I sometimes wonder if that's a good thing. So life may change me into a little more bitter, a little more sharp-tongued. Question 57. What personality trait in people raises red flags in you? I think that when someone promises to do something and then they don't come through, that raises a big red flag with me. I also think that when people rush relationships, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship, and they rush it, and I'm not talking about like rushing intimacy. Intimacy can happen at any time. I'm talking about like rushing commitment and saying, oh, well, you are mine and mine only. And the amount of time we spent getting to know each other is minuscule at best. That's a red flag, very major. Question 58. Have you ever resented someone? If so, what for? Oh, I've resented plenty of people. Usually because I felt that they betrayed me in some form or fashion, but then I learned to grow through it and take it as a lesson. Some of these people I'm still in touch with today. We've calmed and ironed out our misunderstandings. However, other people I've decided to, in a nice way, release them and let them just live their life away from me. Question 59. Do you have a favorite t-shirt? If so, what's on it or what does it say? Well, I don't have the t-shirt anymore, but it was a t-shirt I got for Christmas a few years back, and it said, I think the words were, "In case of fire, remain calm and tweet," something like that. I thought that was really funny back then. Question 60. How old do you think is too old to have a baby? Well, as someone whose great-great-grandfather lived to be 120, and I think he was having children up until his 70s, yeah, that answers that question. There's never too old to have a baby. Now, if you're a woman, yeah, that's a question that y'all ladies are going to have to answer. Question 61. How have you changed over the last 5 years? Wow, oh man, I've become more grounded. I've become more, I guess you could say, a little more cynical, a little more wise, a little more methodical. I am definitely not the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm aware of the ugliness in the world and of people's potential. And I'm also aware of my own shortcomings, which I was not aware of 5 years ago. Question 62. Have you ever painted a house? Yes. It wasn't a house, it was an apartment. And in my old apartment where me and my family used to live, every room had a different color theme. I loved it until a week before we moved, and the landlord said he would not return our deposit unless we returned it back to the pristine white that we saw. So for 2 days we painted that whole apartment white. Fun. Never gonna do that again. I mean, I only have one wall in my house that's painted now. Question 63. Have you ever had a surprise party that was an actual surprise? Never. Wait. I'm trying to think. No. No, I don't recall having a surprise party. 64. What makes you feel miserable? Lack of purpose, lack of desire doing things, lack of direction. Question 65. What's the best costume you've ever worn? Good question. All right. So about 10 years ago, I was working at an internet startup that got bought by Google, and it was Halloween, and everyone was just like, they were decked out. They had like, the paint and the costumes and excuse me, the prosthetic makeup and all that. And you know what I came in? I came in as a priest, because all I did was buy one little collar at it wasn't even a costume place. It was either Ricky's or, no, it wasn't Ricky's. It was like a Five and Below, and I bought it, and all it was a collar, a white collar with a black frock or something, and I won. I won the contest for. No, I didn't win. I came in like third place or something for a costume, because they had a costume contest. I thought that was cool. Question 66. What's been the hardest loss you've had to take? The hardest loss I had to take was when the relationship between me and somebody I was with for a very long time ended. And yeah, it was a very painful thing to deal with. I understand it now. I understand why it had to happen, and I learned from it. I grew from it. but it was a very painful loss. But without that loss, I wouldn't be who I am today. Question 67. Do you like sunny days or rainy days more? Um, I like sunny days. Because I get to go outside and be out in fresh air. Question 68. What does your typical Friday night look like? Oh, well, Friday night, I just get home from work. Back in the days before the apocalypse landed upon us, I get home from work, I sit down, I make dinner for myself. If my kids are here, I make dinner for them as well. We'll go over homework, because yes, it's Friday, and we're going to do homework anyway. And essentially, we'll hang out, and then after that, usually it's like double XP weekend. I'll get on a video game, play an hour or two of that, and or do a little bit of reading, and then go to bed because I'm a cornball. Question 69. Who is your favorite movie director, and what's your favorite movie from them? Well, when I was a young lad, I liked Alfred Hitchcock, and his movie North by Northwest was one of the best movies I've ever seen in terms of that suspense. It was just like, wow, it was gripping. Let me see, movie today. I think J.J. Abrams would be one of my favorites. I like what he did with the Star Trek movies. Believe it or not, I know everyone's like, oh, the new movies are garbage, this and that, whatever. The first two are excellent. The third one kind of missed the mark, and I haven't even bothered to watch it again after it came out in theaters. So there's that. Question 70. What is the furthest you've ever got a paper airplane to fly? Ooh, I think across the classroom on a diagonal into someone's head. Yeah, that was fun. This was back in high school when I was just so bored. That was like 20 years ago. Question 71. Do you like the person you're becoming? Yes, I do like this person. I wish I'd met this person years ago. I wish I'd been this person years ago. But I like this person I'm becoming. This person is more well-rounded. He's a little more methodical. Question 72. What's the highest you ever jumped into the water from? I can't swim, so I only go for the 3-4 foot sides of the pool. Question 73. What inspires your ideas? Emotions. What am I feeling? Am I feeling sad? Okay, what kind of melody can I put together in my FL Studio? Am I feeling happy? What poem can I write? Feeling romantic? What poem can I write? If I'm feeling happy, I'm not sure. I'm just a happy person. But yeah, also what inspires my ideas, say like, I used to write a lot of short stories and things like that, which I should probably get back into. What inspires my ideas is understanding character development and understanding why and how people make the decisions that they make. Question 74. Have you ever assembled furniture by yourself? Yes, a lot. Especially when I moved into my first apartment as a bachelor. I had to assemble the furniture by myself. And it was fun. A little tiring. It was fun. I had to assemble my bed and my desk and my futon and a lot of other stuff. And yeah, it was great. It was great. All by myself. That was a project. Question 75. Have you ever bolstered your resume to get a job you really wanted? Yes, I have. We all have. And yes, I was able to back it up. And yes, I got the job that I wanted. Question 76. How emotional are you? Okay, true time. I'm a Scorpio. And being a Scorpio, we are, depending on your personality, because it depends upon if you do like an astrological chart and you figure out, what moon is in where, and is your Scorpio in Mercury, or is your 12th house in Taurus, like whatever. Point of the matter is, um, the point of the matter is that yes, I am emotional. I am learning to control it. I am learning to let it not dictate my actions. But I can be very emotional. And yes, as a man, we're told don't be emotional. We're told to control it, which I do. But deep down, there's a lot of stuff going on, which is good. Question 77. Have you ever had an internship? If not, what would be your dream intern job? Great question. I did have an internship. It was at this company called AOL Time Warner. I was working in their HR department. I was 16 at the time. This was years ago. And I learned a lot about it. Come into a cubicle, sit down, do your work. Now, as a 16-year-old, I was amazed and awed by riding the train every day to go to work. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Abort, abandon ship. But that was a great internship. I also interned at this company that made models for architects. I also interned at an architecture firm, interior design firm, and then I tried to intern at an architect firm. It didn't exactly work out, but it was fun. Question 78. Do you prefer chicken, beef, or seafood? Chicken. Chicken is easier to digest. It is loaded in protein. I just love the flavor of it. Question 79. Have you ever had a health scare? Yes. One day I was in a training class for Microsoft Word. I went to the bathroom during a regular break, and all of a sudden I had this sharp pain in the side of me, right by my stomach. And I was like bent over for like 15 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I need to go to the hospital. And I went to the hospital, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to tell me my appendix is going to burst. And guess what? It was gas. That's all it was. Yeah, good times. Question 80. What do you love most about the holiday season? Oh man, what do I love most about the holiday season? I love giving. I love the atmosphere. I love the lights, the trees, the smells, the warmth of the holiday season. I don't like the emptiness that comes with the holiday season. I think that's what a lot of people pick up on. The emptiness is what I mean by all you see are sales, and you got to show your friends and your relatives that you love them by going to debt. And I don't like that. That I don't like. However, it's beautiful. And I wish that people would take the holiday season and say, well, how can I be more positive for those around me? How can I be more loving versus just focusing on gifts? Question 81. Do you think a fling could be a good thing? Yeah, they can be a good thing. They can teach you lessons. Flings are fun. Flings can become something more. They can die out. I mean, it is what it is. Question 82. What part of your routine do you always try to skip if you can? Okay, confession time. I've been skipping my exercises in the morning. I'm usually up at 4 a.m. I have some coffee, I do some exercises, and then I get my work done. And I haven't been doing that. I've been sleeping in a little bit because of quarantine. I promise I'll do better tomorrow. Question 83. What do or did you hate most about the dating or the dating process? I wouldn't use the word hate because hate is a very strong word. What I dislike about the dating process is that it's very tiring and time consuming. I guess as I get older, what I'm realizing is that a lot of people are, the older you get, the more broken people you run into. See, when you're in your teens or 20s, everyone's new and fresh, and it was so much easier to date in my 20s because a lot of things hadn't happened to people. But when you get into your 30s and you've been through a serious relationship or two, and then you wind up meeting someone who's been through that, oh boy, you're dealing with their baggage and you're dealing with your own baggage. Which is why I'm putting a pause on dating so I can develop myself, because at the end of the day, if I'm not a well-rounded package, I can't be a well-rounded package for somebody else, and I can't tell if they're a well-rounded package for me. Remember, dating is a two-way street. It's an interview process. You could be the whole package and still wind up at the wrong address if you're not careful. Question 84. What do you frown upon when it comes to raising kids? Well, quite great question. I frown upon parents who use corporal punishment, spanking, hitting, all that. Yeah. Listen, I was spanked a lot when I was a kid. When I was a young parent, I used to spank. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done it for years, and I will not do it. I will talk, I will time out, I will take away toys and privileges and rights and access, but I will not raise my hands at a child. I won't do that. It amazes me how many parents do stand by that. I mean, to each his own, but no. Question 85, have you ever been professionally photographed? Yes, I have. So back when I was in my early 20s, I was looking for work. It was New York City. I had just finished college, didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I went and became an extra for Law and Order. And in order to become an extra, you have to get your headshots done. So I went, paid, got my headshots done, submitted them, and I was able to get like one or two parts. And I had a chance to audition for a speaking role. And I blew it because I slept through the audition time. But now that I look back, I could always go back to it if I wanted to. We'll see. Question 86. Where or how do you find serenity? I find serenity in nature. If I go to a park or if I go to like a lake or something, just sit there, I find serenity there. However, if I need to find serenity right where I am, I meditate. Meditation is very good. Question 87. Do you influence people more than they influence you? I don't know. I'd like to think that I do. And maybe in a sneaky way I do. We'll see. Question 88. What can you do to make your life better? Make more money. Simple. How can my life be better? Money. Money gives me freedom, gives me options, gives me choices. The rest is history. Question 89. If you could ask one person, alive or dead, only one question, what would you ask? I like to ask Nikola Tesla Was he an alien? Who sent him? His designs and theories were well beyond what folks were willing to deal with back in the day. Researching. Excellent, dude. Question 90. What is your favorite hiding place? Oh, man. When I was a kid living in my apartment in New York City, my favorite hiding place was under the bed. Like my mom and dad slept on a pull-out couch in the living room because we didn't have a two-bedroom. We had a one-bedroom. I had the bedroom, and they had the living room. And I would hide in the part that comes out because that was their bed. So yeah, good times. I don't have a hiding place anymore. Question 91. Do you buy anything organic? If so, what? Yeah, I buy my fruit organic. I try to go to Trader Joe's every now and then and do that. 92. Question 92. Describe yourself in terms of food. I'm like a well-course Spanish meal. Rice, beans, chicken, and then a little bit of ice cream on the side. Question 93. How could you reinvent yourself? Man, I've daydreamed about this all the time. Reinvent myself? If I was just bear down, go to architect school for 5 years, come out with a degree and plus like hours of internship and like open my own firm. That would be the ultimate reinvention. Question 94. What was the name of the first album you ever bought? And who was it by? I'm big into EDM, electronic dance music. And back in the day, there was a store called FYE, For Your Entertainment. And FYE had a small section dedicated to trance, dance, EDM, all that. And this album I grabbed randomly. It was called Choo Choo Records Volume 1. It was mixed by a DJ called Anthony Papa. And I loved that album. I still have it to this day. I still play it every now and then. I played it hundreds of times. It was it was progressive trance, but like with a very industrial vibe to it. Boops and beeps. And yeah, it was pretty intense. All right, question. What is your Chinese zodiac sign, and is the description accurate? I have no clue what the Chinese zodiac sign is. I'm going to have to research that, and I will put the answer to that question in my next video, okay? Question 96. Do you have any prejudices you've admitted to yourself? Yeah, I used to be prejudiced towards... I'm not gonna lie, I used to be prejudiced to overweight people. And then I realized that's not cool to be. Yeah, that was something I worked with. Question 97. Who was the very first friend you ever remember making, and how old were you? I was like 4 years old, and my mom used to take me to this store called Odd Lot. And in Odd Lot, there was a bunch of like toys and things on the floor that I would play with. And there was a kid there, I think his name was Brian or something. And we played together. I wonder how he's doing. Yeah, that was cool. Question 98. What makes you lose sleep? Uncertainty, worrying about health or my loved ones, bills. That makes me lose sleep. Question 99. What are three phases of sayings you say almost, what are three phrases or sayings you say almost every day? At the end of the day, you got it. Okie dokie smoky. Yeah. Question 100. Do you floss or use a toothpick when food gets stuck in your teeth? I floss. I don't like using toothpicks. It makes it feel sharp. And there you go. We've done questions 50 to 100. Next time you see me, we'll do questions 101 to 150. It's been great spending this time with you. And remember, if you're told to stay home and tingle on. Have a good day.